Hi again, Mark here from TalkingBass.net. Today I'm going to be working through what I consider the top 5 slap bass riffs by Flea of the Red Hot Chilli Peppers. Now these are in no particular order of ranking, and the riffs that I've chosen are pretty much based on being the most requested ones that I get in emails, YouTube comments and live streams. So if you'd like to see any other slap riffs by Flea, then just let me know. It's also worth mentioning that there's one major exclusion here in the shape of the slap riff from the song Aeroplane. Now the reason that I've missed it out is because I'm going to be making another lesson devoted to that slap line in an upcoming video. It's a longer riff using lots of variations, so I wanted to spend a little more time on it. Remember, as always, the lesson material's all available to download from TalkingBass.net. Just hit the link in the info below. Also, while you're there, check out the lesson map where you'll find hundreds more free lessons on all aspects of bass playing. Then, if you subscribe to TalkingBass.net for free, you'll gain access to a ton of extra practice resources, ebook downloads, a forum, and much more. So, go check it out. Okay, so let's begin with Higher Ground. Now, in case you didn't know, this is a cover of a Stevie Wonder tune by the Chili Peppers, and it's in the key of E minor, and it uses swung eighth notes. So instead of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So it's got more of that rolling triplet feel. And it's a really good riff for getting used to octave patterns. So the first bar, slowly, sounds like this. Okay, so the first octave pattern is an E. So we have the open E slapped and a pop on the E second fret of the D string, and the rhythm is like this. So we've got 2 slaps on the low E and then a pop on that high E. Then we move to the G octave. So this is 3rd fret E string and 5th fret D string, and with these octave patterns I'll be using the first finger for the lower octave and the 4th finger or pinky for the higher octave. So then we just have this triplet figure. Okay, then we move that same pattern up 2 frets up to the A octave pattern, and we have 5th fret E string, 7th fret D string, same pattern. Okay, so very slowly. Okay, so that's the first bar. The second bar is almost identical to the first bar, but with a little variation. So the second bar sounds like this. Okay, so it's the same octave patterns, E, G, and A, and it's the same on the E and the G, but then when we get to the A octave, we have slap, pop, slap, instead of slap, slap, pop, okay? So we have okay, slap, pop, slap, okay? And that's a little bit trickier than playing slap, slap, pop, okay? So you have to practice that. So the whole riff, round and round. Okay, so that's the only tricky part in there, just that slap, pop, slap. And once you've got that down, you should be able to play this riff. So you want to play round and round on that riff until you've got it under your fingers, playing it slowly. Don't worry about playing it in time or playing to a metronome or anything like that. And then once you've got it under your fingers, slowly, you can start to build up speed and start introducing the metronome into play. Now, the metronome can be really good for keeping track of your progress. So, the eventual tempo that we want to aim for is 139 beats per minute. But to begin with, you can just start at something like 80 beats per minute. So here's the metronome at 80. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then you can just gradually build up speed slowly. Take it up 10 beats per minute at a time, take it up to 90, up to 100, and gradually work your way up there. So I won't waste time just going through all the different tempos, but if you want a metronome, you can either use one over at TalkingBass.net, so there's a metronome there, or you can download one for iOS, Android. Tempo's a good one, and then just use your metronome in that way, okay? So, just work on that and get it up to 139 beats per minute. Next we have the main riff from the song Backwoods, which is just a 1-bar riff played round and round and round, which very slowly sounds like this. Okay, so that's it, and we just loop it round and round. So this pretty much all takes place on an F sharp octave, second fret E string, 4th fret D string, but we also use the E natural there, 2nd fret of the D string as well. So I'm playing the F sharp octave with the 1st and 4th fingers, and when I play the E natural there, I play that with the 2nd finger. Okay, so we begin with 2 slaps on that low F sharp, and then a pop on the high F sharp. Then we have this kind of pattern of going between the low slaps and the high pops, which sounds like this. So we've got 2 low F sharps, high F sharp, low F sharp, high E, low F sharp, high F sharp, okay? And then we repeat the F sharp octave, low, high, so. Okay, so that's the first part to get down. Then we have 2 slaps on the low F sharp. Then high E, low F sharp. And then finally, the high F sharp again. Okay, so it's just a basic rhythmic pattern that you've got to nail. It's more about the rhythm and the action of that rhythm than it is learning, you know, several notes, because it all takes place in such a limited space. So, okay, and you just loop it round and round. Okay, so you just start slowly, like I said, play it out of time, get it under your fingers, then gradually you can start to build up speed with the metronome, and you want to eventually aim for 111 beats per minute. So remember, like I said, you can use the metronome over at TalkingBass.net and just work up speed. Next we have the song Get Up and Jump, which again is a 1-bar riff just played round and round that slowly sounds like this. This riff's in G minor and pretty much all takes place around this G octave here, 3rd fret of the E string and 5th fret of the D string. And the riff starts with that octave pattern. So we have slap, pop. So slap the E string, pop the D string. So then we have 2 ghost notes on the E string. So just those 2 dead notes. And the best way that I find to describe this is by using what I call the home position. And anybody that's been through any of my slap lessons or my slap course, the Simple Steps to Slap Bass course over at TalkingBass.net, will know exactly what I'm talking about with this. So when I say a home position, all I'm saying is take the first finger there and lay it lightly across the A, D and G strings. So that'll give you harmonics or dead notes. And then you take the 2nd, 3rd and 4th fingers and just bring them down to lay lightly across the E string, okay? So the 2nd and 3rd fingers will probably be extending slightly across, over the neck. So when we do that, we've got a very safe position, no notes in there at all, just all dead notes. And that's a good safe starting position. So I would say that whenever you start any riff or anything like that, you start in that home position and then you can take your notes from there. So to begin this riff, if you start in that home position and then go for the G octave, you're in position for it. So then we have the 2 ghost notes, you bring the fingers down to the home position. Okay, next we have the B flat, 3rd fret of the G string, and this is a pop, and I'm pretty much using the knuckle there under the 1st finger, that 2nd knuckle there, to fret that note. So, okay, then we have 2 ghost notes again, so back to home position. Then we have the G again, 5th fret of the D string, and another 2 ghost notes. Then we have the B flat again, 3rd fret of the G string, but then we only have 1 ghost note, and this is a very important part of the riff, so just back to 1 ghost note. Then we have a pop on the B flat again and a hammer on to the B natural. Now so this is 3rd fret to the 4th fret. Now when I do this, I tend to hammer on with the 4th finger. I know it's only a gap of 1 fret, but I find that for the feel of it and just for that position, it actually helps to play with that 4th finger. You don't have to do that. You can hammer on with anything, and you can actually use any fingering you want for this. Anything that works for you. But for me, this is the way that I like to play it. Okay. Then finally, we have one more hit of the G there, 3rd fret of the E string, and that's the final note. Then we just back around to the beginning. So we play that G and then we play it again to start the riff. So okay. So you just want to start slowly and then just gradually build up speed to 130 beats per minute. So like I've said before, start slowly. You don't have to play it in time to begin with. You don't have to use a metronome, but once you've got it under your fingers, playing it slowly, then just gradually build up speed. Next we have the main riff from the song Blackeyed Blonde, and this is in the key of D minor, and this time it's a 2-bar riff that very slowly sounds like this. Okay, so that's the whole riff. So to begin with, we have this first bar which sounds like this. So we're once again going to be using the home position here. So remember what I said about this? 1st finger, A, D and G strings lightly, and then just bring those other fingers down there. So we've got this nice safe position to start with. And I'd recommend holding the 1st finger there across the 3rd fret. So we begin with going from home position. We have a slap on the C, 3rd fret of the A string, and then hammer on to the D, 5th fret of the A string. So then I instantly go into that home position again and play a slap and a pop, A string and G string. Okay? That's a very, very popular move in slap bass playing. So that's it very slowly, but you'll have heard that a million times. That kind of sound. So just get used to that move. Slap, hammer on, ghost note, slap, pop. And just build up speed on that. So you'll eventually get used to that, that move in the in this hand of the coordination between both hands, because it's quite tough at first to go from the hammer on to the ghost notes, but just practice it, you'll get it down in no time. So then we have the same move again. We have slap the C, hammer on to the D, but this time we have 1 ghost note and then the D, 7th fret of the G string. And you're probably best playing the ghost note, as you're moving up there. know, so we're almost in a D octave pattern there when you hit the second ghost note. Okay. So then we have another ghost note again on the A string, and then we pop the C at the 5th fret of the G string. Okay. Then we have 2 ghost notes on the A string. Then we have the D again, 7th fret of the G string, slap the ghost notes, and then the C again, 5th fret of the G string. And that's the whole of that first bar. And sometimes I bring that thumb round there to help with muting down here on the E string. So you can just play it with the barred finger there to keep the muting in check. See there, I'm not bringing the thumb over. Or you can bring the thumb over to help. Either way, it's whichever you feel more comfortable with. So that's the first bar. The second bar is almost identical apart from the last couple of notes. So once again, to there, it's exactly the same to the C, but then we have the B natural back to the C. So B natural, 4th fret of the G string, and then the C, 5th fret of the G string. Okay, and that's it. So that's the second bar. So if we put both bars together, okay. And you just build up speed. Finally, we have the main riff from the song Nobody Weird Like Me. And this isn't that tough a pattern to get under your fingers, but the hard part is getting it up to speed, because it's about 200 beats per minute. So, here's the main riff. It's 2 bars long, played slowly. So you can see there that the main key to this riff is that we're using this open D string as a kind of drone note, and we keep coming back to it. So we're always slapping that open D string. So we're going to be slapping the open D, and the only other 2 notes that we're going to be using are the D here, 7th fret of the G string, popped, and the C, 5th fret of the G string, popped again. So to begin with, we have 2 slaps on the open D string. Then we pop the C, 5th fret of the G string, back to the D, and then we pop the D, 7th fret of the G string. So that's the first line to get under your fingers. And this can be quite tough because you're having to slap and pop in a very confined area between the D string and the G string. And the D string and the G string can be a little tough to slap anyway. So okay, so to begin with, just try looping that pattern round and round. And you can hear there that this is, once again, we've got a kind of triplet feel. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, triplet, triplet, so that rolling triplet feel. Just try that line to begin with. Now going back to the main riff, we play that line that we just practiced 3 times. Okay, then we have this final line. So we have the open D string, C, 5th fret of the G string, open D string again, C again, open D string, and then the D. Okay, so we put that on the end of those 3 lines. And then we're back to the beginning. Okay, and that's the whole riff. So it's just round and round and round and round. So you want to start off slow and then just gradually build up speed. And just gradually build up speed until you can get up to 200 beats per minute. Okay, that's 5 of the most requested Flea slap bass lines, so remember to like this video if it's helped, subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with all the weekly lessons, and check out TalkingBass.net for the tab and sheet music download. Okay, I'll see you later.